But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Hey y'all, what is up? It is Marissa, Nicole, and welcome back to my channel, and happy Tuesday, December 17th. Happy Vlogmas Day 17. I am in a funk, and I don't really know why. Actually, I do know why. I've felt in a funk all week. I mean, it's only Tuesday, but I can tell it's gonna last all week too, because Allison is gone on her cruise, and I miss her, one, but also I work every day from 9 to 5, and usually I work with Allison every day, and we just sit there and have fun and talk and gossip and watch stuff, and I don't, like, it's enjoyable when I'm there with her. Now she's not here all week, and so all day yesterday I was kind of bored, and today I was even more bored. Like, I swear the only people I talked to were people who called into the office from 9 to 5. To me, that's like mentally exhausting. You would think it's like a break, but like I'm drained from doing nothing because I feel like I need to keep doing things to like keep me going. I don't know. So it's 11 o'clock at night and I haven't vlogged because I got home from work, I made some dinner, and then I took a nap on the couch until Griffin came over and woke me up, and I was just in a funk, and he was like, you have to vlog, and I'm like, I just don't feel like it, and I didn't really know what to do. These next couple days are like days that I don't really have content planned. The last 2 weeks I had like on the dot like Christmas content planned, which was great. Like this week I really don't, and so it's kind of hard to stay motivated to do that when I don't have anything really to do, and I have like no human interaction for like 48 hours basically. I hopped on Instagram and asked y'all to ask me some questions so that way we could do a little cozy Q&A. I don't know, because I don't really feel like vlogging, like doing things. I'm exhausted, so I just want to sit here and drink my hot chocolate, and I can answer some of y'all's questions that you have. So that's what we're doing today, and that's kind of why, in case you're wondering. First question. We are starting off this question just with like a hot topic here, and it is, when do you plan on getting married? And obviously that's not solely up to me. It depends on whoever decides to propose to me and want to marry me. But in a perfect world, my plan would be to be married and to have my first kid, or at least be pregnant with my first kid before I am 30. That seems like a lot of time, but when I really think about it, I'm already 23. It gives me 7 years to get engaged, like plan the wedding, have the wedding, get pregnant, have a baby. And within all of that, you know, I of course want to be like financially stable and have some sort of house or secured place of living that's nice enough to raise a family in, or wherever we're at. And so all of that has to be done in 7 years. So who knows if I'll get there, but that's like in a perfect world my plan on getting married. But of course that's not only up to me. I know you're in college, but why don't you go back to your hometown a lot? So there's a lot of mini reasons that go into this as to like why I don't really go home. One, I am narcoleptic, and so I fall asleep very easily. Basically, if my heart rate drops below like a certain whatever beats per minute or whatever, I'm out. And so driving for me is really hard. If I'm in a car for more than like 20 minutes, I'm asleep. So driving by myself 2 hours back home is pretty dangerous for me, because I have fallen asleep driving home before, and I will fall asleep, and I just really don't want to do that. So I really don't make long trips, period, but let alone to go back home. Two, I don't have a room at my house anymore. I used to live in the basement of our house back home, and when I moved out, I kind of got rid of everything other than like 3 bins of things, and obviously I just bought all of this furniture this year, so I don't have an extra set of furniture at home waiting for me to come home. I don't have a bed to sleep at home. I don't have a room or a closet or any of those things, so that's kind of another reason why I don't go home. I don't really have a place to stay. Of course I can stay on my parents' couch, which isn't a big deal, but I'm not gonna go home for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of winter break when I don't have a place to stay, so I stay here. And then 3, it's just not something that I guess is important to me. Like, I don't crave going home. I'm never homesick. I don't need to see my parents that often. I talk on the phone with my mom. I try to call my dad every week. Like, I feel like that's enough for me. I don't really need to be with them or to go home. So I guess there's just no drive or like will in me to go home. How do you have time for school, work, and a relationship? Honestly, my first 3 years or so was a lot harder than it is now, because of course I was taking more classes, working more hours, more jobs. I think what's worked best for me is to completely plan my life to the T. Y'all know this. I'm a huge planner and organizer, and I really just keep a planner and I plan out every hour of my time and I allocate what I'm gonna do. I know when I'm gonna be filming, I know when I'm gonna be doing homework. Griffin knows when it's his time to come over or when we can have date nights. We plan those ahead of time, and it's not just a, well, I'll see you when I see you kind of thing. Priority-wise, school always comes first, and then work, and then sorority, and then like friendships and Griffin kind of thing, and he knows that and everybody else knows that, and so that's kind of how I prioritize my time. I just am very organized and I plan everything, and I think that's what's helped me, because I really haven't felt overwhelmed, especially the past 2 years, because I haven't been taking as many classes. But when I was taking like full class loads and working, you know, multiple jobs, that was hectic. But I also wasn't in my sorority at the time. So once my school load and workload dropped off, I joined a sorority. And then once my class load dropped off a little bit more, I got a boyfriend. So I feel like I also just kind of got lucky in the sense that I'm never going 110 miles per hour with everything in my life. What are your New Year's resolutions? I always do a video on these, so I will do a whole video on my New Year's resolutions, but I will share maybe like 2 with you guys that I can think of off the top of my head right now. One would be, I feel like this is everybody's, but to start exercising and eating healthier. I was really in it my sophomore, like junior year, and then senior and my super senior year, I have fallen off. And then another New Year's resolution would be to really work on my relationships and friendships, like putting my heart and soul into them, because we are about to leave and graduate and I might not see any of these people again, and that's kind of upsetting. So I really just want to kind of move past my walls, or like these things that I have up guarding myself, and just kind of like love wholeheartedly all my friends and just spend as much time as I can with them. I know that, I don't know if that's really a New Year's resolution, but that is something that I really want to do before I graduate, because I don't know where all of us will be. House parties versus bars versus frat parties. I'm not sure if you're asking my opinion on all of them or like which one do I like more, but I went to a lot of house parties when I was not 21 because I'd never had a fake ID, and I enjoyed those. I went with like a different friend group that I really don't hang out with anymore, and they were a lot of fun. But bars, of course, I've been going since I was 21, now that I can get in, and those are fun, but it's expensive to drink at. And then frat parties are fun, but dangerous in and of themselves in terms of girls getting drugged or sexually assaulted or kidnapped or just like being out late and not making it back home, that kind of stuff. But those can happen anywhere, but I feel like you're more likely to get drugged potentially at a frat party versus a bar. That's my own personal opinion. I have no statistics on that, but the only real frat parties I've been to are like block before games, and those are fun. And then anything that Griffin's frat throws, you know, their parties I always go to, which are fun. But I'm not like a huge frat partier. I feel like the most that I do are bars now. Do you ever get PR packages? Yes, I do. I do have a lot of brand deals that I work on. I mean, not like a ton, but, and usually if I am being sponsored or somebody sent something to me, I always tell you guys like, hey, here's a code down below. They sent me this stuff to try, or link is in my description if you guys want to check it out, that kind of stuff. Like those are kind of my PR packages. Some of the most recent ones that I've gotten is Shein. So I am like sponsored by Shein, so I get clothes from them, and I have my own affiliate link so that way you guys can shop and save 15% off on clothes if you shop at Shein. That's obviously a really fun, like one of the bigger brand deals that I have, and I'm really happy about that one. Can you do a video where you make margaritas, otherwise known as margarissas? Honestly, yes, I would love to, but I'll probably do videos like that, like switch up my content after I'm graduated potentially. You probably won't get a video like that from me while I'm still in school. Will you have another meet up on campus anytime soon? Honestly, I haven't thought about it, but I feel like I should before I leave. Like maybe like a little mini graduation party or something like that with you guys. How do you guys feel about that? Like seriously, let me know down below if I did another meet and greet on Ohio State's campus, maybe like right before I graduate, before everybody leaves. Like, would you guys want to do that? Would you guys be up to do that? Like on the Oval again? Like, I don't know. I think that would be super fun, and obviously before I leave, like it'd be really cool to be able to just sit on campus again and meet as many people as I can before I leave. What states haven't you been to but would like to visit? I haven't been to a lot of states, but ones that I would love to visit would be like New York. I really want to be in New York for New Year's Eve one year sometime in my future. I really want to go to Hawaii. I've never been there. California. I feel like those are like the big ones. Everywhere else I've either been or I just have no desire to go. Are you going to get any more tattoos or piercings? So right now I have 4 piercings and then 2 tattoos. I definitely have plans to get more tattoos. I think I'm going to be getting more over spring break. Me and Allison and everybody else is already planning our tattoo ideas, so that way we can get them for cheap down there. So be on the lookout for spring break. I'll be getting new tattoos there. I don't think I'm going to be getting any more piercings. Like I don't really know what I would want, because I had my nose pierced twice. It never healed and it never worked, so I'm not doing that again. My belly button piercing got ripped out, so I'm done there. I don't really know what else I would want, but tattoos, yes. This next question is my favorite. Why are you so damn hot? Thanks, Allison. Honestly, I'm not looking too hot right now. We're just like cozy, but cute and cozy, I guess. I don't know. Do you ever plan on moving out of Ohio? Yes. 110% yes. If it was a perfect world for me, I'd be out of Ohio the day after I graduate. I do not want to be here any longer. I am ready to go. And it's not really because anything's wrong with Ohio. I am just a Sagittarius and I need change. I need to move. I need to flourish and try new experiences, and I'm ready to go. So I'm not sure when that would happen, but yes, I plan on moving out of Ohio. Will you travel home to see any family this year for Christmas? Kind of going off of the previous question, I will not be going home to my house for Christmas. My mom is gonna come down here to spend Christmas with me and her parents, my grandparents, and then my sister is actually flying up from her state to hang out with us. So everybody's gonna be here at my place basically. So I won't be going home, but I'll still be able to spend Christmas with family. And then Griffin and I are actually flying down to visit his grandparents with his parents for the rest of Christmas. So I'll be doing some slight traveling over the Christmas holiday, but I won't be going home to my house. They're coming here, and then we are going to visit Griffin's family. What are your thoughts on cohabitating after college with your boyfriend? Obviously, I'm okay with it. I see nothing wrong with cohabitating, even if it's not a boyfriend, if you're living with your best friend or even another friend that is of the opposite sex or whatever. The way that this economy is set up right now, it is too expensive and it's just not feasible for someone to live by themselves, basically. At least the way that I have been working with money and how broke I have been, like there's no way that I can afford an apartment right now. How do you manage your time? Like I mentioned earlier, I literally plan out hour by hour what I need to do, what are my priorities, and then I basically like list them. So for example, in the morning, I wake up and I make a to-do list of everything that I need to do that day. And then I'll go through and either highlight it or make a new list and rank them in order of like importance. So if it's a red highlight, it's high priority, and then yellow is like, I need to get this done today, and then green is, it could get done today, if not, but you can add it to tomorrow's list. That's like a really good rule of thumb that I love teaching people who aren't really good at organizing to try, because it's really easy. You just sit down and make a list. I do my lists, I do sticky notes, I do my regular planner, hourly planner, I have my Google Calendar. I have a lot of planners and I stay very organized. I think for New Year's, I've been thinking about doing like a get organized or like budget with me, basically prepping for the new year kind of video. So not really a like bullet journal setup, but kind of in a way. So that way y'all can see how I organize everything. So like my finances, my budgeting, my bills, my rent, my tuition, like everything. I want to kind of go through that with y'all. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know. How much total did you pay for your sorority? So before I answer these questions, I went back and looked through all of my bills that I have paid in my sorority so I could get this number for you guys, because I've never even done this myself. Like, I know it's expensive, but like this number makes me cry. So this is all of my room and board, because I did live in the house for a year, monthly dues and like developmental fees, and if we had t-shirts that we had to buy, stuff like that. So this is everything that I've like physically paid to my sorority since 2017. So since October 2017 until next May, so May 2020, I would have paid $15,000 basically to my sorority, and that makes me want to throw up. That's so much money, oh my god. And it might go up, of course, because I really didn't include like having to buy t-shirts or any kind of events that would be going on next semester, even though I know that there will be. I just included my like dues and developmental fees, which, because I know what those are, about $15,000 for 3 years in a sorority. Yikes. Some sororities, from what I see on YouTube, do 3 days of gifting to their littles. Does OSU only do 2? Some schools would do like a week long of like gift giving to their littles. Some people will do more or less or whatever, but Ohio State really only does 1 day of gift giving, and it's like big little reveal. So when you get your big and little, like they give you a basket of things, and that's really the only day that you have of gifts. I wish we did more. I wish we did all week, or even like 3 days leading up to something. I don't know, but I guess we could, each chapter could do that. It's not like it's a in stone rule. It's just that Greek life really isn't that big of a deal in northern parts of the US. Like the southern schools, they are like all about it, but like up here it's really not that big of a deal. What is my least favorite thing about being in a sorority? I would definitely say money. It sucks that you have to pay for this and it's so expensive, but the real one would definitely just be the drama. Like there will be drama in sororities, period. Any sorority you join, there's gonna be drama. If you put 80 to 100 girls together, there's gonna be drama. I wish that was not the case, but that's one thing that I really do not like. It's just the drama about it. What is the best part about living in a sorority house? Definitely just living with my sisters. Like being in the hustle and bustle of it was the best. I knew that if I was gonna be paying all this money to be in a sorority, I wanted to experience the sorority life full blast. So that's why I chose to live in the house. I never missed out on anything. If something was happening, like stuff happening in the house, or people wanted to go on like ice cream runs or anything, little midnight runs, whatever, like you're always in it. Now that I'm not living in the house, I like it because I have my own space and I'm not like sharing a room and the walls aren't paper thin. And I do have FOMO. Like so many things happen and I wish I was there and I wish I was invited, or like it's just things that it's different. When you're living in your sorority house and when you're not, it's different. And I definitely loved just being a part of it more. Like that's where you get your memories from. Like you pay to go to philanthropy events and you pay to go to date parties and pay to go to block and all these things, but like living in the house, you're paying to live in the house, but you get way more memories out of that, or like experiences out of that, than what you're paying for, which is great. I'm an AOPI at BGSU alum. It's like an AOPI thing if you don't know what that is. Do you plan on being involved in AOPI after you graduate? I probably will not join like an alum chapter because I do not want to pay alum dues, but I definitely could see myself being an advisor of some sort to a chapter that's nearby, being a chapter advisor or even just like a position advisor. I feel like that would be super fun. Why did you choose AOPI? For me, when I was rushing my junior year fall semester, so rushing informally, I was between Delta Zeta and AOPI. So that was really the only two sororities that I was really like rushing or like trying to recruit. I had talked to both of them, and this is no shade, no tea on Delta Zeta, but the girl that I was talking to just didn't really seem that interested in me. Like I would talk to her and tell her things about myself and she was just like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, like she really just didn't want to be there, and I just didn't really feel that like important, I guess. But when I was talking to girls from AOPI, when I was like going through their recruitment stuff, like they just seemed so much more interested in me and they like genuinely cared about things that I had to say, and I felt important and I felt like loved already. I just loved the look of AOPI. I loved their recruitment video that year. It was very homey and like personal feeling, and I just felt like I could be there. I felt at home. I felt important. I felt loved, and I felt like I would fit in, and that's kind of what pushed me towards AOPI. This video is already getting way too long, so I'm gonna have to split this up into two parts because I doubt you guys want to watch an hour-long video, which is literally how long this has been filming for. So I'm actually gonna end today's video here. That way it's not too long and you guys can keep an eye out for part 2 coming in a couple days. If you don't mind, I'm so sorry. So if I didn't read your question today, don't worry, I will read it, I promise, in part 2. I'm gonna film it right now. I'm just gonna be posting it on separate days for you guys. So keep an eye out for it. I promise it'll be there if I didn't read it today. Before we go for today's video, I of course will read today's notable quotable, which comes from Kara, and it says, push yourself because no one else is gonna do it for you. And I think that one is so true in college because you don't have anybody holding your hand, you don't have mommy or daddy to wake you up in the morning, you don't have your teachers being like, did you do today's homework? Make sure you do it today. Like, you are on your own in college basically, and it's a huge wake-up call for those who don't already have that kind of like sense of responsibility at home or like self-discipline. So you gotta be able to push yourself. You have to be able to get yourself motivated and to stay on track and to say no when needed and to get your stuff done because nobody else is gonna do it for you. So thank you, Kara, for that notable quotable. If you want to be the next video's notable quotable shout out, all you have to do is comment down below your favorite quote or song lyric that keeps you going and keeps you motivated. That way we can end every video on a positive note. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!